a down-home hero, playing in the night raven. Least of the old foundation, hungry for the promised land. Chewing on a ragtime rhythm, chasing out a dead man's song. Face to face with a runaway dream that was waiting for him all along. Come on, royal, plant those feet in the soil, burning like a hot black oil. You know that you better slow down. They keep shaking till the daybreak, and all that fire's gonna fade to gray. There's only so much that you can take before you give it all away. You give it all away. Reaching for an occupation, roadhouse cavalier, a crooked smile, old crocodile, grinning from ear to ear, dancing on a two-top singing, heart beating in his hand, but twisted up bad like a wet ball, back on the road again. Come on, royal, plant those feet in the soil, burning like a hot black
Live for World Cafe, that was Goose with Royal. New album is called Chain Your Dragon. I'm Raina Douris, joined today by Goose. Welcome to the World Cafe.
Thanks for having us.
Hello.
First of all, since all four of you are here, could you introduce yourselves one by one, say your full name, say what you do in the band so people can tell your voices apart?
Sure. I'm Peter Ansbach. I play keyboards, guitar, and sing.
I am Cotter Ellis. I play the drums.
I'm Rick Materatonda, and I play guitar and sing.
I'm Trevor Weeks, and I play bass.
Right on. Well, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Usually, we don't interview the full band on the show. We'll have like one representative, but we wanted to have all four of you here because what you do is so interconnected in the band. And I think when you're doing stuff on stage that involves a lot of jamming, you have to be really aware of each other. You have to have an energy or connection or communication going on. Could you describe how that works when you're on stage and you're kind of improvising and how you're communicating with each other?
It's pretty special. We're kind of just reacting and listening as the music progresses. And, it's just a matter of being open to everyone's ideas and trying not to think too much and just reacting and playing something that either supports or, basically interweaves with the other lines and whatever that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of it is everyone's individual personality and the way they play and their kind of accumulated language throughout each of our lives individually, but then a lot of it is language that we've built together, common language. Trevor and I have been playing together for a long time, and a lot of that, there was a lot of things that we do improvisationally that I think in like the early years we were working on for a long time and trying to figure out how to like get our phrasing linked up so that we could take things in and out and do different types of things like that. And so like building that language along the way has been really fun and just like a really rewarding and cool process. And Cotter joined the band. It was like an immediate chemistry there. Like it was a lot of the same reference points and a lot of the same, places we were coming from language wise. So there was an immediate big crossover and an immediate like just, personality chemistry connection as well, but I think the language is just going to continue to grow now because that chemistry is so strong, and it's really exciting to me. Like the runway feels exciting.
Yeah, totally. So. Well, you mentioned that you and Trevor have been playing together for a long time. Take it back for us a little bit. I know you grew up in Connecticut. What kind of music did you bond over in the beginning?
I don't know. I mean, I guess where we grew up, like everyone was listening to jam bands. Like it was kind of it was the thing, which is I've come to learn is not normal really. Like all of the when Humphreys McGee would play at Nokia Theater in Manhattan, the entire like the whole high school would go. Our high school was actually flagged at Nokia Theater because it's like there was somebody like girls too drunk getting out of there in ambulances kind of thing or something. But like people rolling with like Wilton High School merch or like hoodies or sweatshirts or jackets, and they'd be like told they can't come in. But so sorry, the point was that everyone was listening to jam bands, and like I thought that was normal. It was just kind of the world we were in. When I was in high school, like Fish wasn't playing, so that we weren't going to those shows, but it was Humphreys McGee and SDS9 and all those bands that were playing. So I think that was a big common thing inherently, but
definitely.
Other than that, we come from different, I listened to a ton of different stuff prior to that. And I think you have some different reference points and things you're interested in too.
Yeah, very much so. Like I grew up listening to like metal and then electronic music and stuff like that, which I think is kind of a different path than this guy.
What was it that initially got you guys to like start a band together? Like what was there something where like a triggering moment where you're like, okay, we're going to actually make music?
Peter Castaldi.
that was not that good. But anyway, Peter Castaldi's like the, he's our boy, kind of the Warren Haynes of Wilton, Connecticut, you could say. But he introduced Trevor and I.
He also introduced me and Peter as well.
Yeah, he's a big connective tissue guy in our scene. But it was a pretty small town. There wasn't a ton of like you kind of knew all the musicians that were coming out of there.
Right.
There was a lot of talent that came out of the town, but everyone, you kind of, if you were dialed in, you kind of knew everyone that was that was coming out of the town.
Yeah. And then Peter, you joined as the keyboardist, even though you didn't really play keyboard right at the beginning.
yeah,
How did that happen?
Well, I was on tour with my other band, and we were basically crossing paths with Goose. We opened for Goose one time, and we were just hanging out like after the show and kicking it and stuff. And then, like around the same time, the previous keyboard player was leaving Goose, and Rick called me and asked me to join and play some keyboards. And I was like, I could try, let's go for it. And my other band was kind of like we were having trouble. So it was like, I'll play in as many projects as necessary in order to just, keep playing music, which is like what I love to do. And so it was like a natural move because I loved Goose's music at the time as well. And I was just like, oh, I'd love to be in this band.
Yeah. It must be so fun to like join a band and get to play the songs that you were already listening to.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just fun to learn the songs because I was like really enjoying them,
And then Cotter, you joined the band last year. What's it like? I mean, you guys kind of touched on the connection thing and the language, but what's it like being the newbie?
It's great. It all happened at a great time, obviously, and they kind of like pulled me out of the like quicksand of the music industry I was in at the time, and yeah, it was especially great because it was immediately apparent that it was gonna work, like especially the improv stuff, which is where we started. Like we sat down and just improv'd. Our first thing we played together was probably over 30 minutes. And it was just immediately exciting. We barely even spoke to each other before we started playing. And yeah, I think we were all just super deep in it. And we've all played music with a lot of people for a long time. So we knew how special it was in that moment. And, it took me a little while to get used to being in this band and getting the kind of attention that they get. But I would say I'm used to it now, and it's been a great journey, and the fans have been really supportive and awesome. So overall, great.
You kind of said like you didn't talk a ton before you played, but I am curious, when you bring a new member into this band, is there an onboarding process? Is there something that you tell them about, like a guiding philosophy of Goose when you bring them in and start?
I don't think so. I think it's like more so just osmosis of like spending so much time together and hanging out, aside from even playing music, and just like having meals together and yeah.
They told me if I mess up once, I was fired. Other than that, it was chill.
Hasn't messed up yet.
Yeah, I feel like communication is just really at the core. Instead of having definable principles or anything like that necessarily, it's just about communication more than anything, and the ability to kind of be on the same page and understand a common goal. Because a lot of times that sometimes that's a obvious tangible thing. It's something that's easy to communicate, and a lot of times it's not easy to communicate. It's kind of intangible and subtle, and when you're aligned in those types of things, it makes all the difference.
Yeah, for sure. I'm speaking with Goose on World Cafe today. Talk about how songs come together for you guys, how they begin. Are they're forming sort of first on the road?
Not always. I think it's I'm a big believer in the process varying and the process kind of reinventing itself. Yeah. I.e., I often feel like I don't know. I'm like, well, how do I do this again? It's just never. I think there's no one way, and I think that's a good thing, because then there's no formula. It doesn't end up being the same song every time, Right. So yeah, I personally have a hard time writing on the road usually. So I'll tinker, but generally the most happens at when in stillness, or when I'm kind of in my own little world and not as distracted, or things like that. Yeah.
I know that you will, play songs that aren't on records yet, lots on the road before they make it to an album. What does it look like when you take a road tested song into the studio?
Well, it's definitely really fun, to reimagine some of the songs. One track in particular on this most recent record, Empress of Organos, has been played many times live. And I feel like we totally reimagined the groove when we brought it to the studio, and it was awesome to have that time to just focus on that in that environment and really focus on that song. So that was really fun, and it totally came out in an amazing way. It changed the way we play it live.
We're going to go to another live track now. This is one that you released in 2022. Before we hear you perform it, could you tell us about Hungersite?
When we were going in to record Dripfield, we had the same deal, like you said, a bunch of songs that we had been playing live. And the impetus at that point was really to turn as much on its head as we could. It felt like where we were coming from on the previous record, we had kind of exhausted all of our internal faculties creatively, so that we turned to someone else, our good friend D. James Goodwin, to we didn't really know him at that point, but we started a relationship with him and went to him to help us turn everything on its head and push us in directions we weren't used to, and be uncomfortable, which was a really awesome learning experience for us. So we, all the existing stuff that we had been playing, we changed it all a lot. And then I think it was like primarily the first 3 songs on that record were just new ideas. When we were starting that record, they were kind of like seeds that I had. And we're just kind of chipping away at. And throughout the process of that record, those got worked on and kind of came together as a little trio of songs.
Right on. Here's Hungersite. It's Goose, live for the World Cafe.
It's been like road. Oh, I'm growing tired of falling on yesterday. Because is that how it goes? Well, I might be rusted, but brother, I'm here to stay. Is it time to shed our weapons yet, my friend? Is it love we've drawn away, our groundless love? Can we step out of the wreckage yet, my friend? Running on against the hungry side, hanging on, they've taken on. Oh, we won't lay that down. Don't it let just a little closer? I know it's down in you. But yeah, it's only air. Nothing tethered to the garment we're climbing through. Is it time to shed our weapons yet, my friend? Is it love we've drawn away in our desperate love? Can we step out of the wreckage yet, my friend? Running We won't lay that down. Is it time to shade our weapons yet, my friend? Is it love we've drawn away in our trembling love? Can we step out of the wreckage yet, my friend? Running home against their hungry side. We're hanging on. It's taking on. We won't lay that down.
Hungersite, performed live for the World Cafe by Goose. I'm Raina Douris, joined by Rick, Trevor, Peter, and Cotter of Goose today. Rick, you've said that one of your goals with big shows is making an amphitheater feel like a basement party. How do you do that?
Oh, I mean, we don't know. It's a very much a goal, or it's something that we want to feel. The more experience we have doing those types of shows, I think the more we talk about. I mean, we don't talk about that much. We've talked about it a handful of times of just wanting to get to that place, because we all know what that feeling is like. The magic of playing a basement party where the vibe is proper and it's just really intimate, and there's sweat on the walls, and like it's just that feeling, and there's nothing better than it. I don't, whether we achieve it or not, I don't know, but I think it's the right thing to strive for.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. There's a certain kind of magic that happens when you're at like a sweaty, weird basement show. It's like, but yeah, translating that into a big space can be tricky. And the shows have been getting bigger and bigger and bigger over just like a few years. For this performance today, I think it was a first I've heard, at least. We had to have a special security meeting yesterday in case things got too wild, which I don't think we've ever had to do. What is it like having such an intense following who literally will follow you like deadheads around? Why do you think you've inspired that kind of a fandom?
I mean, I would say in general, at least, the appeal of improv bands of any kind, whether it be a jam band or like a bebop band, is that the crowd knows that they're going to be in it with the band, finding out what happens and like riding that energy wave with the band in that moment, which like having that kind of experience in the moment is even more rare now than it used to be. And I feel like people get, I don't know if I want to say addicted to it, but they just like are enthralled by it. I know, because I was like as a kid going to see my favorite jam bands. So I feel like that's a huge appeal, and we play different shows every night. And so they're chasing songs and they're hanging out. Our fans especially it's such a great community. It feels like they're all just friends out there. Yeah. So I think they have a great time in a lot of ways.
Yeah, the vibe is really nice. We actually assembled a little supercut. We had a couple of our interns go out and talk to people in the line and ask them, what they're excited about, what Goose means to them. I'm going to put it in right here, and then we'll hear it. And so we'll hear a little bit of that right now.
I just see them in this crazy intimate setting. Like, I didn't think I'd ever get to see them in a place this small.
The first time I saw them was January of 23. And I was hooked immediately on the bus.
The new album they dropped this week is spectacular. Really excited to hopefully hear some of that today. So.
Obviously, them being a jam band, I think not too common for people their age to get into that kind of scene. And just being, kind of up and coming in that whole genre is pretty awesome.
I just heard someone else talk about they just sold out Madison Square Garden in no time. So the opportunity to get to see them in a small setting, which is always an amazing setting, and I'll let them decide what we need to hear. So.
Hot Tea was one that I fell in love with, and it was actually after my dad passed away. That one I just kind of hold close to my heart because it got me moving. I adore you guys, so if they hear this.
Okay, so that was a sort of a supercut of Goose fans waiting outside to watch you perform live. What is your relationship like with that community and your fans?
Well, it's super special. We're so lucky, and it's not every day you have people out there who come to see your music, and then you develop personal relationships with them. And there's been a lot of circumstances where that's happened, and then there's a lot of circumstances where people have reached out to us for help and various things along the way and told us their stories, and I think that just makes it all the more meaningful and deepens that bond. Yeah. So we're really grateful, and it's a special thing.
Is there a story that stands out, like a fan-related thing that you can remember?
Yeah, I remember there was a guy who was in a coma it was a while, about a month. They were just playing Goose to him in the hospital. He was a big Goose fan. And then we ended up playing a song called Redbird for him at a show. Once he came out of the coma, he was able to come to the show. That was really special. So yeah, deep stuff.
There's so many stories like that stuff is it really grounds the whole thing to me, you know, because sometimes it's easy to get lost in it mentally and kind of get to places of like, what are we doing? You know, what's going on here? That stuff is like, oh, cool. That's what we're doing. That makes it real. It makes it worth it, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it means a lot when those things happen.
Well, and there's a flip side to that, right? It's like when you get bigger really quickly, you're also probably going to hear sort of the negative feedback too from people. Like it just opens you up to a lot of stuff. Like, do you get stuff like, oh, it sounds too polished, like criticism, like, oh, you've sold out, like that kind of stuff?
It's pretty, I don't know, universally positive. We really get no hate at all.
Yeah. I've read anything on
it's just like 100% good.
That's amazing.
All the time.
Lucky.
Very lucky.
How do you support each other when the outside noise gets too loud?
Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Who do you play?
Who am I?
Yeah, what's your favorite?
I'm usually Samus.
Okay, pretty
He's
good.
a mean Samus.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Now I need to find out who everybody's favorite is.
King Day Day.
Wow.
Yeah, Trevor is
field.
like so king to day.
Yeah.
I'm Link or Young Link or Toon Link.
Cotter bops around a good amount.
Yeah.
Lately, Pikachu.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Yeah.
I'm a big Kirby fan. Sometimes kind of
Kirby was
cheap
my
though.
old player. Peter's had his scrap with Kirby as
Yeah.
well. He's a little bit better / more annoying with Pikachu.
Totally. Yeah, that's true.
So, Super Smash Brothers, is there anything else that you do for each? Like, how do you make sure that everyone stays on an even keel together?
I mean, I'll say, like, when I joined the band and was kind of, when I was about to join the band, they asked me if I wanted to. They were like, just so you know, it's going to be kind of intense. There's going to be a lot of chatter. And I was like, oh, I don't care. It's like, you know, I don't know the right words to use on the radio here, but I was like, this is going to be fine. And then it did kind of shake me for a second. It was like, oh, wow, this is wild. And like, they were immediately like, we're all in it together. So we truly have each other's backs. And I feel like the way we are able to communicate to each other about it and really have each other's backs and then like end up making it into a joke or whatever we have to do to kind of move past it and focus on what we're doing and what's working and why people like us and why we like ourselves.
Yeah, I think it goes back to like communication again. It's like sometimes we have some time off or something. You're at home, for a couple weeks and like we're not together and you're kind of just like stuff starts like seeping in. And then I feel like as soon as we get back together, it's just like, oh, we're all in the same boat here and like experiencing the same thoughts and stuff like that. It helps a lot.
Yeah, you're not like isolated in this by yourself. Figure it out.
And knowing when we need to communicate, and like being in tune with each other and having that door open so that when, intuitively it feels like it's time to have just to like connect or talk about what we're going through or whatever it may be that, that we're able to do that.
Yeah. Let me quickly reintroduce you. I'm talking to Goose today on World Cafe. You are a band, but you're also like a business. Personally, I came to Grateful Dead really, like I'm from Canada. Jam bands are not as big there. I came to the Dead later on, and I remember kind of being surprised at how like business savvy the Dead is. Like you think of a jam band as this like groovy, laid back, like whatever man kind of vibe, but they are business people, and they also on the other side of that, and it's very intentional, the things that they do. How do you guys think about the business side of Goose?
The organization.
Yes.
We have a great team supporting us and helping us out.
I think you kind of have to just like, as the shows get bigger and there's more production and stuff like that, like there's more and more people involved. And I think just like, yeah, as soon as you get more people, like you have to start thinking about stuff like that and making sure everything's in order. And yeah.
There's part of it that has been really, that I find fun. Not necessarily like the numbies and the business stuff, but like there was
Did you say numbies?
Numbies.
As in like numbers?
As in numbers, yeah,
Love
sorry.
it.
There's a lot of terms that get thrown around here. But yeah, I mean like that stuff is kind of, it's part of it, it's necessary, but in terms of like There was a thing in the GQ article that came out yesterday about the ketchup thing, and like
The organic ketchup, yeah.
Oh, you caught that?
Yeah.
Yeah. The point I was trying to get across there was like, I think it's cool caring about the energy that you're putting out into the world, and all the periphery of your business or whatever it is part of that. Yeah. It's part of the world building. Like all of my favorite artists are really good at that. They're like curating a feeling, and it extends to every part of their thing, and a lot of that is tied into the business, but the business it's not about making money. It's about like creating something that feels cool and immersive or something. That's my favorite thing about my favorite artists, or the immersive quality of their thing. Well, it's the artwork and the merch, and it's all the same language, and it's you just feel like you're in their world.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, something worth striving for and something worth caring about, in my opinion.
I'm glad you brought up world building, because we're going to come back to that in a minute and talk about it in the music. But we are going to hear another live song first. And this is from Everything Must Go, the album you put out earlier this year. It's called Give It Time. And this song takes you on a real journey. Like, it starts out slow, maybe more like a straightforward indie rock song, and then it kind of explodes. You could hear the audience singing along to this when you're performing it. I know it took a while for you to finish writing this song. What was the key to cracking it?
There's a lot of one of the most interesting things to me about songwriting and songs in general is kind of the mystery of it. I think if I knew how it worked, I'd do it a lot more.
Yeah.
It's the mystery of it is really interesting, and like it sometimes feels like it's just like it wasn't ready yet. That idea had been kind of like Matt and I had been playing around with that for a while. There was like the two different versions of it. It's like, and the how the song breaks in the middle and kind of switches tone. It's the same words, same thing, but it's kind of shifts its perspective literally within the key as well. It goes from being in like a Lydian thing to this is nerdy stuff, but like a Lydian thing to like to go into the mixed Lydian, like the five, whatever. It's for the nerds out there. But it shifts the tonal perspective of the thing, and those both existed kind of independent of each other. And the question was like, oh, is it this thing or is it this thing? What does it want to be? It's like both. It could be both, and that's cool. So I don't know. I think we had tried a few times prior to that to work it out and find it, because we it felt like there was something there, but the universe did its thing, and like when we were practicing for Cotter's first shows, for whatever reason, it started just like I just started thinking about that thing, and it just we tried it out, and it felt really, it just locked into place, and kind of the arrangement came together really quickly, and it all made sense, and it felt like a cool new anthem for us to hang our hat on while we were making that, going through that transition.
Right. Yeah. Here it is. This is Give It Time. It's Goose, live for the World Cafe.
Feels like a premonition, a storm behind your eye. All of the questions as you lie awake at night. Is this really what I wanted? Will I ever be anything but a pretender, living inside of a dream? Give it time, but go ahead, give it hell. Give it all you've got, give it up for something else. It's a revelation, it's a hallelujah. That's the nature of the Spirit running through you. So take it easy, just begin again. Take a step back from the race that you've been running in. That's the next song coming on the radio, just when you need it. So turn it up and let it go. 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 You follow the illusion, fear behind your pride. Come the morning, you'll remember when to run and when to fight. Am I really being honest? Will I ever be free from the expectation living inside a memory? Give it time. Go ahead, give it hell. Give it all you've got. Give it up for something else. It's a revelation. It's a hallelujah. It's the nature of the Spirit running through you. So take it easy, just begin again. Take a step back from the race that you've been running in. It's the next song coming on the radio, just when you need it. So turn it up and let it go. And turn it up and let it go. And turn it up and let it go. And turn it up and let it go. It's a hallelujah. It's the nature of the Spirit running through you. So take it easy, just begin again. Take a step back from the race that you've been running. It's the next song coming on the radio. Just when you need it, so turn it up and let it go. Give it time, go ahead and give it in. Give it all you've got, to give it up for something else. It's a revelation. It's a hallelujah. It's the nature of the Spirit running through you. So take it easy, just begin again. Take a step back from the race that you've been running in. It's the next song coming on the radio.
This is World Cafe. I'm Raina Douris with Goose. That was from their album Everything Must Go that came out earlier this year. The song Give It Time. They were performing live for the World Cafe. You guys have an even newer album now, released yesterday, the day before we recorded this interview. That album is called Chain Your Dragon, and it was a surprise. Why did you want to make it a surprise?
We've kind of wanted to. I love that stuff. We've wanted to do that for a long time, and this just felt like the right time. Felt appropriate. I mean, a lot of these for our people, a lot of these songs we've been playing for a long time. They've been, they're like deep in the canon of our journey, our experience. Yeah, I mean, the making of the record was really, really fun. Some of we started working on recording some of these songs over the previous years of the Everything Must Go sessions. But earlier this year, we just kind of found ourselves in such a place that felt really good, and decided to recut almost the whole thing.
Oh, really?
March of this year. So we kind of very different, contrary to the Everything Must Go process that was drawn out over years for a lot of reasons. This was, for the most part, knocked out in a month, like really quickly, just us in the room, just going for it. And it was really fun and really liberating, and really felt really, really good. I think we're all really proud of how it came out. Being it that these songs have been around for a very long time, the process of finally we've tried to make this record a bunch of times, going back to the band before this band. And it just, same thing I was just talking about, things happen when they're ready, and I don't think we're always in control of that. You can try to make something happen, but if it's not ready, if it's not right, it's not, it's not worth forcing it. So it came together effortlessly and kind of in the right way. These songs were realized in the way that, to me, it feels like they always wanted to be. So it's kind of it's a cool pillar or monument to what they are in our world and the journey we've been on. And it felt exciting to just drop it out of nowhere.
When you have those songs that have been around for a long time, did you know that those specific songs that you were playing, that they all belonged on an album together? Was that always the vision that they would be? Yeah,
because they all came from the same time and place that we were in. We obviously wrote a few new ones to join the bunch, which was a challenge, but also felt really fun and natural in a way, and felt like the new characters, new songs there add a different light, a different musical tone in some ways, but also feel like they belong there, and in a weird way feel like they've always been there. So. These songs have always felt like a batch, a world.
Yeah,
to us, for sure.
You mentioned the characters. There are a lot of characters. There are a lot of characters on this album. I'll just list a few. There's Mr. Action, Dr. Darkness. There's Jed Stone. The song Madalena, we're going to hear you play at the end of this interview. Could you tell us a bit about the world that you've created for this album?
A lot of it. It goes back to Visudo, which was a band before Goose. That was when we were in our early 20s working on all this stuff. I don't know. We were just young and hungry, and had too much fire for our own good. It didn't end up we ended up going separate ways after a year and a half. It felt like 5 years. The amount of things that happened. It's also probably a product of that age. Things you just grow and develop so quickly at that point. But it was just such a formative time for us. And it's crazy thinking about how short of a time it actually was relative to how we're experiencing time now. But it really did inform so much of the journey we've been on. And those songs it was just a really pivotal time and poignant time for us.
Yeah. I mean, when you're writing, let me think about how I want to word this, but when you're writing about these characters, where are they where do they live? What is the world that you have built?
I mean, I have to Matt Campbell is a good friend. Started Visuto with him, and he's who I've like worked on all these songs with, and he's just he's very brilliant with like writing narrative type things, and you know, we've always, the Hot Love and the Lazy Poet was the first song that we ever wrote together. It was like the summer of 2011, and it's just that's been a relationship that's just always been kind of same thing, effortless and synergistic, and the fire has just always been there, and it's just been a very, it's so fun working on music when you have that type of connection. So yeah, the characters, you know, a lot of it is just us talking about ideas, and you know, he's very good at coming up with characters that embody certain ideas and emotions and feelings, and kind of stand for certain energies, you could say.
Well, and you have like strands running through it, like the it's like the Night Ray band, right? Is that it? They show up a few times. I mean, I know just from being on the Reddit, even just a little bit, that people are already trying to decode everything that is in this new record. It's been out for like 24 hours. And so like, can you give them anything about who the Night Ray band is, or what that means, or why they keep showing up in the songs?
I'm a big believer in you know, leaving these types of things to imagination of the, you know, we have the way that they exist in our brains and our, you know, perspectives, but I think part of the fun of that is the mystery and kind of the otherworldly aspect of it, where it can be interpreted a lot of different ways, and you know, who's to say what's right and what's wrong.
Right. Goose is my guest today on the show. It's World Cafe. We're gonna hear one more live performance from you. It's the song Madalena, and I know it was I think the last song that you wrote for the record. Is that?
Yeah, that's right.
Tell us about writing it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of like Royal spawned out of Turbulence in That Race. That song's been around for a long time, and then Madalena spawned out of there. We were writing a bridge for Royal, which we don't usually write bridges in that way, and it was kind of really fun. It's kind of a different thing. For some reason, this doesn't end up happening like that. Usually, like a traditional functioning bridge, but we did in that song, and it kind of pulled out this idea of you know, this Royal, this like road weary guy, and his, you know, his lost love, and his, you know, that and then it was, the impetus was like, you know, breaking that case file open a little more, and exploring what that connection was, and what the feelings associated with that are.
Yeah. There's something you said earlier about when you were in the old band in your 20s and time was moving really fast, and you said, not like how time moves for us now. And then Trevor nodded, and I want to know more about what that meant. What do you mean how time moves for you now?
I think it's just like, I mean, for me personally, it's just like when you're in your early 20s, a year is so much more of your life.
Yeah.
And you're also young and like fiery, and there's like, I feel like so much can happen in such a short period of time. Like you look at like a summer, and it's like so many epic things can happen. And nowadays, like, yeah, time just seems to move faster. Like the classic, you kind of blink and it's like a year's gone by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with so much stuff happening.
For sure.
Right now.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to hear Madalena. This is from Chain Your Dragon. It is live. It is Goose for World Cafe.
Madalena, I've been looking for a place to lay my head down. I'm tired always trying to find a way out. Running from this life I know so well. The Amarillo, the running lights and empty eyes in limbo. Dreaming with my face against the window. Drifting to the dawn of another day. Falling from above, further from the sun. from the light of day. Madalena, I don't want to wake up, just stay a little longer. Stay here by my side. Hold the sky up till the night dissolves. We'll paint the new horizon with our bleeding hearts on. El Camino, another night with the grays out on the Rio. Your town doesn't throw down like it used to, but lazy still knows how to raise the dead. Should have seen them up all night dancing in a mausoleum. The drugstore wine preaching to the season. Those ghosts really know how to listen anyway. Falling from above, whispering in tongue. If I could find a way, I'd say, Madalena, I don't want to wake up, just stay a little longer. Stay here by my side. Hold the sky up till the night dissolves. We'll paint the new horizon with our bleeding hearts on. Madalena, I don't want to wake up, just stay a little longer. Stay here by my side. Hold the sky up till the night dissolves. We'll paint the new horizon with our bleeding hearts on. Madalena, I don't want to wake up, just stay a little longer. Stay here by my side. Hold the sky up till the night dissolves. We'll paint the new horizon with our bleeding hearts on.
Madalena performed live for the World Cafe by Goose. It's from their new album, Chain Your Dragon. Rick, Trevor, Peter, and Cotter of Goose, thank you so much for being here. It was really great having you.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
Thanks for having us.
I'm Raina Douris, back in a moment with more World Cafe.